Hi, and welcome to Quarantine Cocktails with Chad and Nicole.
Today we're talking about Planter's Punch. It's a simple mixture of rum, citrus, sugar, and water. Like many drinks that we've covered that are classic cocktails, the origins are disputed. Some claim that this was a specialty drink at the Planters Hotel in Charleston, South Carolina in the 1800s. Others claim it refers to the Planters Hotel in St. Louis. However, both of these appear to be later fabrications of the story, and the drink appears to have come from Jamaica, with the unverified tales of the Jamaican planter's wife who concocted it to cool down the workers in the field.
The first written reference to the drink comes in the form of some verses from the September 1878 issue of the London magazine Fun, entitled Planter's Punch, a West Indian Recipe.
All right, so here it goes. A wine glass with lemon juice fill, of sugar the same glass fill twice, then rub them together until the mixture looks smooth, soft, and nice.
Of rum, then 3 wine glasses add, and 4 of cold water please take a drink. Then you'll have that's not bad, at least so they say in Jamaica. Wow, that is some bad doggerel.
1878. So by 1903, the Kansas City Star had boiled the rhyme down to just 4 lines. The lines were 1 of sour, 1 of sweet, 2 of strong, and 1 of weak. So the editor explained that this is as the juice of 1 lime, 1 spoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of old Jamaican rum, and 1 of ice water.
And then in 1908, the New York Times ran a recipe with this little poem. Take 2 of sour, lime let it be, sorry. to 1.5 of sweet, of old Jamaica pour 3 strong, and add 4 parts of weak. And that is actually pretty close to the proportions that we're using for today's demo with a little poetic license.
So throughout Prohibition, the ingredients in this cocktail seem consistent, although the ratios vary greatly from account to account, as does the drink's name. It's been known as Jamaican rum punch in the Savoy cocktail book that we've talked about many times, and it's also been known as Creole punch by British novelist Alec Waugh. But it's almost always contains the same ingredients of rum, lime, sugar, and water, and it always has remained a Jamaican specialty.
After Prohibition was repealed, good Jamaican rum became available again, and tropical drinks saw a big spike in popularity, which faded again around World War II, and then returned to the scene along with other tiki-style drinks in the 50s and 60s, when Trader Vic featured various versions with grenadine, curacao, and other innovations.
So today's versions often incorporate multiple rums, various fruit juices, and really it's up to your own personal taste when it comes to what additions you want to make, as long as they're added to a base of good dark Caribbean rum. And as Jane Cobb of the New York Times advised in 1936, the sensible thing to do is to drink slowly and stop fussing.
All right, nice. So here is the sort of all the variations of the classic Planter's Punch. You can see sort of consistently has the same main ingredients, and then people have added a bunch of optional things to it. And it's usually served with crushed ice today. Today's version we're going to be demoing, we're calling the Planter's Right Cross. And it's featuring the Smith & Cross traditional Jamaica rum. This is a London-based rum producer, although they do their distillation of this rum in Jamaica. And this is an overproof rum, so it's sold at quote-unquote Navy strength of 57% alcohol. And that's good in this drink, in my opinion, because you've got a lot of other components that kind of water it down, and so you want to keep a reasonable proportion of alcohol to make it, strong enough that you know that you're having a good, well-crafted cocktail and not something watered down. We're going for a full ounce of lime, that's our sour, a half ounce using our homemade grenadine from last week, which is delicious, and that's serving as our simple syrup in this case. I wouldn't use a whole half ounce of a store-bought grenadine, but this one I think fits really well in here. And then for our weak elements, we're going to use a little bit of pineapple juice and a little bit of soda water. So we're calling that weak, even though it could be considered in the fruit juice portion. But pineapples are grown on Jamaica, and so kind of keeping with the Jamaican theme there. And then we're also adding a little extra Jamaican spice by including the St. Elizabeth allspice dram, which is a traditional liqueur also produced in Jamaica. And we featured it when we did our Lion's Tail episode, if you remember that last season. All right, so now...
If you don't have the allspice dram, you could use Angostura.
Yeah, you could throw in a couple dashes of Angostura bitters. That's definitely been done. The allspice dram, just a little bit of extra sweetness and those lovely, allspice flavorings to give it that real Jamaican seasoning. All right, so we'll start preparing our drink. Nicole, you'll be working the citrus. Thank you very much.
Working the citrus.
Yes. So fresh squeezed lime, of course. And I'm only going to make one today because it happens that Nicole decided she doesn't really like the taste of Jamaican rum. So I'm going to make one, but she's going to assist in any case. So I'm using the Smith & Cross Jamaica rum right there, a traditional pot-stilled Jamaican rum, and you can see the high ABV, 57%. Woo! That's going to be fun.
Yes.
All right.
It's very rummy.
We'll throw in our ounce of pineapple juice.
And you want a whole?
A whole ounce, yeah. That's half of that filled.
Oh.
Yeah. So an ounce of the pineapple juice. We can, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
An ounce of the lime. We'll just go straight in there. Pass the grenadine over. We'll do our half ounce of simple syrup. We don't want to overdo the sweetness, especially because we've got the pineapple juice contributing some sweetness and some tartness, and of course our allspice dram. I really like this stuff. So we'll put in just a teaspoon of that. It's pretty flavorful. All right. And then we've got our secret ingredient. A couple drops of saline, which we use whenever we're using a citrus-based drink to cut some of the bitterness of the citrus. Now I've got my soda here, but I'm not going to put that into my shaker. I'm going to put that directly in the glass, shake the rest of the ingredients, and then pour those in. And often with these tropical type drinks, you actually just you actually shake with the crushed ice and just roll the whole shaker in rather than straining. So we're going to go that route for today. So we're going to take our glass, we're going to put in our ounce of soda water into the glass. So that's just going to filter nicely through the rest of it when we roll it in. I've got some crushed ice that I crushed by hand beforehand by beating it inside of a cloth. So it gives me some nice chunky ice. Decided to go a different route from the mojito route. I think I like this better. because it comes out more chunky and less like snow. So I got a fair amount of ice. You need to use quite a bit of crushed ice.
You don't need a snow cone. Do you want the rest of this?
No, I think that's good. All right, and also I'm not going to shake as long as normal because I don't want to get too much dilution. So I'm just going to give it a pretty brief shake. Really aiming to cool it down. It's going to dilute pretty quickly anyway in the glass with the crushed ice. So that's probably pretty good in terms of shaking. And like I said, I'm not even going to strain it. I'm just going to roll it straight into the glass.
You're also using an insulated shaker now.
I am. My new insulated shaker. And so I just poured the whole thing straight in, and then I'm going to garnish with a nice piece of fresh pineapple and a sprig of mint, just for some fun and a little bit of aroma and a little snack afterwards.
Nice.
And I've got my straw to stir it a little bit and to give it a good sip. And then, for you, my darling,
Yes.
so you're not empty-handed.
That would be a tragedy.
Yes.
Thank you.
A splash of Sauvignon Blanc. There you go. So there we are. There's our Planter's Punch.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Should have good taste of the rum. You don't want to like completely cover the rum. You want to be able to taste it in there. And I think the Smith & Cross comes through really well in this. So it's a really good rum for this purpose. All right, I'm going to give this a try. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yep. Very good. Very pleased with how that came out. All right. Well, cheers. Thanks for watching along, and we'll see you next week.